Super Molly. Life's an everyday adventure. That's my philosophy. I love weekends. The whole family is home, and there's plenty of time to play. Today, as I looked out my window, I saw that the sun was shining brightly. So I popped out of bed, jumped into my moccasins, and splat! Suddenly, my face was in a basket of brightly colored material. I stood up to get a sense of things and saw a note on the floor. It said, "For Molly." I decided to go downstairs to get to the bottom of the basket mystery. I was pretty sure my mother had something to do with it. As I walked, each step made my toes tingle in my moccasins more and more. I knew something amazing was about to be revealed. "Good morning, Sweet Pea," my mother said as she placed a plate of fabulous pancakes on the table for my father and me. "Good morning. I wonder if you know about the basket and the note in my room." As we ate our delicious breakfast, my mother explained that she and my father were going to be very busy around the house today. She thought that while they were busy, I might have fun with her old scarves. So she gathered them all last night and left them for me to discover in the morning. Scarves? Don't you just wear them around your neck to keep warm? I questioned. "That is certainly what some people do, but I bet if you use your imagination, you'll discover many things to do with a scarf," my mother said as we cleaned things up from breakfast. My parents started their busy day, and I headed back to my room to check out the scarves. I took them all out of the basket and laid them on the bed to see if anything occurred to me. Nothing. I tossed them all into the air to see if that would inspire me. Still nothing. Finally, I decided to wrap the most beautiful and colorful one around me like a dress. Wow! I suddenly felt like a princess. I tied 2 more multicolored scarves to the back and had a very long dress. I paraded around my room with my head held high. Now I was ready for the royal ball. My mother wasn't joking. There are lots of things to do with scarves. I grabbed a white one and knew I needed something else. I quickly ran to my father's thinking room to borrow his glasses and some paper. Now I felt like a scientist solving the world's mysteries. I placed the glasses back and ran to the kitchen in my white scarf. I taped some paper together to make a tall hat and grabbed a wooden spoon and a big mixing bowl. I was now the newest chef in town. This was great! When I got back to my room to see what other scarves were there, I had a wild and crazy idea. I tied a red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple scarf together and ran outside. I wanted to see if I could feel what it was like to be a rainbow. While I did not feel much like a rainbow, I had a super time running around the backyard with the scarves and the dog. Super. I thought about the word for a moment. Then I knew what my next scarf mission would be. I ran back to the basket, found the prettiest pink scarf there ever was, and tied it around my neck. It was official. I was now Super Molly. I flew down the stairs to see what Super Molly could do. I arrived just in time. My mother was in the middle of fixing the hinge on the cabinet door in the kitchen. She had to hold the door in place as she hammered a nail. But she couldn't reach the hammer. "Super Molly to the rescue," I said as I handed the hammer to my mother. I heard her giggle as I soared back out of the kitchen. When I walked past my father's thinking room, my father was on a ladder rearranging his books on the top shelf. Just as I got there, I was able to catch the book that slipped out of his hand.
"Hey, where did you come from, Miss Molly?"
my father asked, rather shocked that I caught the book. "Super Molly is always there when you need her." I answered as I darted back out of the room to see what was next. Suddenly, I heard the dog crying and barking outside. I ran to see what was the matter. The dog's favorite ball was stuck under a bush and she couldn't get it. Super Molly got on her belly and crawled like a spider to reach the ball. The dog jumped for joy as I threw it for her to catch. When I got back inside, I heard a strange buzzing sound. I followed the buzzing sound until I found a fly trapped inside by the window. Clearly, he wanted to be on the outside, so Super Molly opened the window and helped the fly get back to the great outdoors. Next, I wondered if Super Molly could help Super Molly. My parents have asked me for days to put my toys away, and I had not yet done it. So I hit my room, and yes, Super Molly could help Super Molly. I put my toys away in no time at all. The end of the day came quickly. At dinner, I was almost too tired to eat, but I still had my Super Molly cape on just in case I was needed for anything. Molly, I'm so happy you enjoyed playing with the scarves today. I also want to tell you a little secret about Super Molly. While your cape is terrific, you certainly don't need it because you are super just the way you are. My mother said as she kissed me on the forehead and walked upstairs with me for bedtime. Sometimes it is fun to imagine yourself as different things like Super Molly. But it is even better to know that by just being yourself, you are always super. Molly Moccasins, everyday adventurer.